Hi everyone, and welcome to the channel. My name is Vinny. I finally managed to come out here today. I had to wait a little while because the snowstorm was pretty nasty and it wouldn't be that easy to get to this place the way it was today. Not that it was easy by any stretch of the imagination, because it was not, but it would have been way harder for me to be able to come to this specific place here, let's say 2 or 3 days ago than it was today. That's for sure. And everything, everything in life, everything is energy. In this realm, everything is energy. Everything is energy. Everything is energetic in nature. And we spend so much of our lives misusing our energy, either by just wasting it on frivolous and useless things that are not going to get us anywhere in terms of our own growth, experience, a learning process, which is what this life is meant to be about. And it's not our fault to some extent, right? Because there's a lot of external factors that bring about these things to people, for everybody to act the way they do and think the way they do and end up wasting their precious time and energy into things that won't bring them any real tangible value that it'll carry over for their next learning experience, whenever that may happen. So I really wanted to talk about how important it is for us as human beings to actually learn how to reconnect with ourselves, which is something that mostly everybody out there forgot these days, because there are so many different types of distractions and misdirections and noise and all kinds of things happening out there in this physical realm, in this world, in this reality, right? That we we lose ourselves from ourselves in the process, if that makes any sense to anybody. If you're familiar with this channel and the things that I talk about here, then you know what I'm talking about. If not, well, feel free to watch some more of my content and maybe perhaps spend some time with yourself. Sit with yourself in your own silence and stillness for a little while, and maybe something will click when you do that. Because the way this world and its social constructs were designed, it really was never in our favor to begin with the way that things are. And they've always been this way to some degree, but now with the technology on top of it, it's become much, much harder for people to realize these things. And when we get to this point where we're completely disconnected from ourselves, and you can call this many things, you can call it God, Krishna, Buddha, Christ, whatever flavor, whatever religious flavor you wanna stamp it on it, whatever thing that you identify with. See, there's a reason why they created all these different religions and things, where it was to just keep people fixed and identified with certain ideas and concepts, because it's much easier for people to be manipulated, controlled, and lied to when they abide by certain parameters, so to speak, right? We waste so much time. And I've talked about time before. You know, time is very, very precious, very, very powerful. And it's something that when we come here, it has it it has a preset finite date and limit to it. Eventually, this time that we were given is going to run its course. And when it does, this physicality that we're experiencing right now, that we're all experiencing, is going to end. And then a new chapter will begin, right? What that chapter entails, I can't tell you. I'm not I'm not going to pretend that I know, because I don't. And anybody who's telling you that they do, they're full of crap, because nobody knows these things. The only time in this life, or should I say after this life, that we're going to know the truth about certain things, and we're going to get to the bottom about certain things and certain facts, is going to be when we leave this physical realm and we finally remember who we truly are and what we really are and where we come from. So let that sink in for a minute, because that's exactly the only time when you're going to know these things. Anybody else out there claiming that they know this, they know that, they've been here, they've been there, they go outside their body and they come back with all this, new age talk and mumbo jumbo. Oh yeah, it's ending soon and this and that, because there's a lot of people talking about these things these days, right? People have been talking about these things since the dawn of mankind, and we're still here. And this realm still exists because this place has a purpose. And I don't think this place is going to be going anywhere anytime soon. But in order for us to go through this evolutionary process, the spiritual part of it anyway, we have to experience certain things and go to certain things, and once perhaps everyone reaches a certain level of maturity, spiritually speaking, so to speak, then maybe a lot of things on this realm will change and be more to our liking or to what we would like it to be. But that won't be happening until we're all on the same level, or perhaps until we all agree that we need to all work together as a race towards a common goal. You don't got to have a PhD to know these things. It's just a matter of logical thinking and common sense. And knowing your heart a little bit, being connected to yourself to a certain degree where you kind of understand some of the things that would have to happen and be done on a wide scale level for things to be a certain way and begin to go a certain direction, right? Because there's lots of people out there these days that know that they're waiting for their savior, and the whatever they think the savior is, the space brothers, the return of Jesus Christ, Buddha, Krishna, all these things, right? It doesn't matter what people believe, because it's so much easier to believe that someone outside of ourselves is going to come and rescue us from whatever situation that we're in at this very moment right now, when this is never going to happen. And people can keep on dreaming and drinking the Kool-Aid, because that's not how it works. We have to accept responsibility for our actions and be accountable for everything that we do in this realm. Because whatever we do here affects not only us, but other people as well. So it's easy, for some of us to accept the fact that perhaps, maybe if you believe in these things, that we are sinners, and maybe someday someone is going to come and wash away all that. But that's not how it works. I can tell you that. And the reason why the world is still the way it is because we never fully, up until this point, have taken responsibility for ourselves as a whole. Not as an individual, I'm going to say it as a whole, as the human race as a whole, to be able to begin to change things for the better for not only ourselves, but everybody else. I don't really think it's as hard as a lot of people think it is. Yeah, it's much easier to assume this posture of defeat and say there's nothing we can do about it, about whatever it is, right? And tie our own hands and be like, we don't have any power to do anything to change anything. But I said this before, I think it's a matter of people being on the same page and understanding that together things can be achieved. So many things can be achieved when people get together, as opposed to everybody going out there on solo mode and lone wolf, you know, situation. Because human beings are social creatures. We need each other. We need relations. We need connections and all these things, right? In order for us to be in a healthy state, psychologically speaking. And isolating ourselves from everything, including ourselves, because that's what most people do. We already have this problem of gender war, which is a silly crap, of because it's been engineered, and it's people are blind to see the motives and the agendas behind these things. So you have a bunch of women hating men, a bunch of men hating women. Nobody gets together anymore. Families are a rare thing these days. People are not having kids. Birthplaces are plummeting. Do you really honestly think that this is going to solve any problems? Or is it going to, on the other hand, cause more issues in the very near future? Have you ever stopped to think about the implications of things like this? Truthfully, honestly? What do you think is going to happen in governments throughout the world when there's no young population anymore to pay taxes and keep certain systems running? And listen, I get it. Paying taxes sucks, right? The whole thing sucks. It's not even legal. There's a lot of room for discussion on that topic. But here's the thing. It's the way that most places throughout the world sort of like run all of their social political systems, regardless of the corruption and all the stuff that happens in between, right? We all know that. It's the same all over the world. It doesn't change. But until a new, better system is put into place, this is the system that we're stuck with. And what do you think happens when there's nobody left anymore to be paying into the systems to keep them running? And it's far from optimal as it is right now. Yeah, we all know there's plenty of corruption and plenty of stealing and thievery going on all over the world. But I don't know. I don't. I'm having a hard time seeing how this is going to end up well for anybody when people stop having relationships and families stop being a thing, people not having kids anymore because everyone is out for themselves now. And I get it, I get it why people do these things, but it's not. We were not designed to live this way. And when things become so out of balance and out of alignment to the point where it's gotten it now, I don't know. I'm having a hard time seeing a good turnout for these things. And I always try to be optimistic. I used to be the doom and gloom guy, trust me, for a long time in my life. But now I always choose to look at things on the positive side of things. And even now, when I try to sort of picture, which is extremely hard to do because of all the things that happen, right? How things are going to turn out to be if they keep on going the way they're going, I'm having a hard time looking at a good outcome for everybody. So we got to change our ways. However that's going to work, I don't know. I don't have a plan. I'm not, that's not my job. I'm not here to save, you know, this whole system, everyone and everything. But I think of myself, and I have a son, right? And I'm sure some of you guys have family too, may perhaps have kids. And we all think about these things from time to time. Right now, it's just not looking in our favor. That's all. Can it be changed? Absolutely. Is it as hard as everybody thinks it is? I don't think so. But as long as we remain divided, hating each other due to programming, conditioning, and so many other external factors, hating each other because you're a man or she's a woman, because one is white, one is black, one is yellow, one is brown, whatever, all this crap, right? Because whatever religion you follow and all these things, the divide and conquer is strong. It's been working out great for a very, very long time. And this video is already getting way too long for my taste, so I'm going to cut it here. You know, I think it's about time we begin to really, truly reconnect with ourselves in a meaningful way, to begin to remember who we truly are, and then go from there, so things can finally change and become better for not only ourselves but everybody else. And I'm going to leave this at that, my friends. So if you like the content, don't forget to hit that like button, share, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And I will catch you all on the next one. Be safe, take care. Until next time.